Hello, hello, and welcome to Olyrik channel's new official Ko-fi trailer thingy. Yay! Yoo! I made a trailer for the Ko-fi a while ago, but it was when I had much less of an idea of what I was going to be doing with the Ko-fi, so I figured I'd make a new one now, going into December, to give sort of a rundown on some of the benefits and things that I would hope to achieve through the Ko-fi in the future. I am kind of trying to put together a better Ko-fi supporter trailer, but I just haven't had the free time to put together the detailed PowerPoint presentation that I want to make for all of you. So we're going to do sort of an ad-libbed trailer here that will give everybody a much better rundown of what they can expect from it. So, without further ado, here is... Whoa, my Ko-fi page, where you can support me. So, if you've somehow ended up here without knowing at all who I am or what I do, I am Olyrik. I do streaming and YouTube content, as well as some pixel art, game development, and things of that accord. But if you're supporting this Ko-fi, the primary thing you're doing is just supporting me creatively. You're facilitating me making YouTube videos, you're facilitating me doing Twitch streams, you're facilitating the once-in-a-blue moon pixel art, and the rare occasion game dev streams. I know that's all over the place, but as we go through this, you'll get a better idea of what you can expect from this, Ko-fi. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, I have a Ko-fi, links down below, go check it out. This is the trailer for it, or at least it's gonna be after I record it. So, let's take a look at things a little bit, just going through it casually. I don't really have a script for this, I'm ad-libbing it like I do 90% of my content. So the help me pay rent goal here is of $2,000. This is less a help me pay rent. I should probably reword this and change it, but it's more a help me become financially independent. Because if I'm able to earn $2,000 a month through the Ko-fi, that will be the point in which I can stably feel comfortable with quitting my job and doing this creative stuff full-time. We'll talk about that more later on. But this is just the front page of the Ko-fi. This is just how Ko-fi itself chooses to automatically lay things out, and you got a bunch of cool things here that we'll talk about more as we go through the other sections. So with that, let's dip over to the membership tab and talk a bit about that for a bit. Now I'm just gonna sort of go through these tabs in order and talk a little bit about them. So let's talk about the tiers of membership, starting off with the top three, the ones I really more so expect people to do. First is supporter, $1 a month. If you support me at the base level, you will gain the ability to request games for me to play on my YouTube and Twitch channel. And you will then gain the ability to also vote on those requests. So every single supporter can request a game they want to see me play and, vote on it. Now, I'm recording this just as December is rolling up, so we have the December votes right here. So all three of these were games that are suggested by supporters, and all of you can vote on. And this is actually a cumulative process. If I click through, we can see that some of these already have points toward them. So to explain how that's working is, every single time I hold a vote, the votes carry over to the next month's vote. So Later Alligator, over the course of the last couple months, has received 4 votes, and Prey has received 2, Mass Effect has received 1, etc. But then all of these are also at, the 10s, and that's because of the request. Every supporter is allotted 1 request of a game they want to see me play. By requesting a game, you, 1, facilitate it appearing in these votes, but also every request is treated as the equivalent of 10 votes. So somebody could come along and be a second person to request Mass Effect, bringing Mass Effect to 21 votes, because 2 people are specifically requesting it. And also because votes are cumulative, if you support me for a longer period of time, you get more votes in over time, which means you have more sway because you've been supporting me longer than other people. So, get in early, get more votes. With that, let's hop back to where we were, though. So that's how those votes work. And there's a number of other votes that we have. And actually, you know, let's go and look at one of those right now. I've also made the 2,000 vote. So this, just like the other votes, will be done every single month. And the way this is going to work is when we hit that goal of I don't really ever expect to hit this, but it's here floating for people who want to do it. But if we ever hit that goal of $2,000 a month in donated funds from people supporting my goofy content I make, I will start another series on my channel. Because right now I do a playthrough of a game that I choose, a playthrough of a game chosen by people who follow me on my Discord, linked down below in the YouTube description, and a series picked by my Ko-fi supporters. And if I get enough Ko-fi supporters, we will actually, or if I get $2,000 a month in donations, I should say, I will start another series picked by my Ko-fi supporters. And this is to sort of gauge what you guys would want, and I'm open to suggestions. Go down in the comments below and tell me other ideas you have of what I could throw on here. Well, I don't want to leave open to just the description. If you're a Ko-fi supporter, DM me ideas you have of things you might want to see as a series. But these are just some of the ones I've come up with, leading into December. And so, one is another game from the supporter votes. So the vote we showed before, rather than just picking the number 1 place, first and second will get picked as series to play through. Or more so, I'll pick whatever's winning currently and make, words. I'll pick the top 2 most popular games, and I will make both of those a playthrough on my channel. And so we'll have 2 games being played through daily on the YouTube channel, picked by Ko-fi supporters. Alternatively, we can just make one of those daily series Animal Crossing. The reason why this is separate is because the Animal Crossing series would basically be going on indefinitely until I've decided I'm sick of Animal Crossing. I've always wanted to do an Animal Crossing playthrough. I love Animal Crossing. It's such a pleasant series, but the problem is that I just don't have the time to do it. But if I'm able to get to the $2,000 a month, then I'm going to be able to have, I'll be able to leave my job and do this full time and have the time to play Animal Crossing regularly, and if people are interested in it, stream it to all of you. And this would be a stream that would happen every single day, probably around 2 or 3 p.m. It would be just a nice chill stream. We'd play it, and then the recording of that stream would go up onto YouTube the next day. Making a fun little thing of it. Words. Then the next one would be bring back Two Brothers. So those who have followed me on my YouTube channel for a long time know that I used to have a series called Two Brothers, in which me and my brother would play through games together. We had a playthrough of Outer Wilds, Undertale, and Detroit Become Human all going on the channel, but then life got complicated. I had to switch jobs. My new job takes up a lot more of my free time. My brother is a dad now, so he has a child he has to look after. Those things combined, the mixed with me having to keep up with my pre-existing stream schedule, have just made it too difficult for us to sit down and do Two Brothers. But, again, if I'm able to make this my full-time career, it'll become exponentially easier to do that, and if you guys request it specifically, then we will make it like a main focus of the channel. And I will do everything in my power to guarantee we always get it. This one I wrote weirdly by mistake, and 2 weekly game dev videos. That's supposed to be two weekly game dev videos. So up until recently, I was every single Saturday doing a video of me developing my game Marble Island Roll. Now, I've had to put that on a temporary hiatus in order to help me catch up on some of the other recording stuff, because currently my game dev stuff is sort of a secondary priority. But if you guys vote for this, I will make it a major priority, and I will do game dev videos every single week, continuing on Saturdays. It will come back from its hiatus, guaranteed. Although it might come back from its hiatus before the votes if I am able to find the time for it again. But in addition, I will do a second game dev video every week where I begin work on what the game I will do after Marble Island Roll is. Start doing like the baseline game Bible stuff and coming up with ideas of things and, you know, working it out. Hell, I might even let some people vote from a couple of game ideas I have of which one they'd want to see me develop. But that's a thing for future concern. The next option, weekly You Laugh You Lose videos. This is a series, this is a type of content I've always enjoyed on YouTube, and I've always considered doing myself, but there's a lot that goes into it. It takes time and effort, and I would need to be getting submitted videos from a large number of viewers, which I don't really have enough consistent viewers to be receiving these. But if we get to this point where I'm able to financially support myself on this, evidently I'll have a significant number of viewers, and by that point, You Laugh You Lose will be a viable thing to consider. And the way I would do this is on the Discord end, every viewer would be able to submit one video a week. And on the Ko-fi end, Ko-fi supporters would be able to submit even more videos than the Discord people could. And I would watch the Ko-fi supporter videos before the Discord videos. So, you know, there's that. Then weekly Heart of Action development videos. Heart of Action, for those who don't know, is a tabletop role-playing system similar to D&D or Pathfinder or Call of Cthulhu that I have been developing for the better part of a decade. You can find all of the rules of it for free in the Discord down below. There are the base rules, as I put them. These are the basic rules that the whole game is built upon, and then there's going to be additional flavor rules that I hope to sell in books later on. But by making a weekly series out of this, what I would like to do is begin converting video games that I have played on the channel, like Dishonored and Fallout and, other games, Zelda, Dishonored, Fallout, Zelda. I'd like to take the mechanics of those games and convert them into Heart of Action and create like tabletop adaptations of these games to give to all of you for free, and then the Ko-fi supporters would receive directly high-res downloads of some of the pages and stuff I make, whereas other people would just be sort of left to watch the videos of the development and record the rules from that. So like the rules would be available to everyone for free, but more readily accessible to my Ko-fi supporters. And then the last one is to put more focus into bonus videos with friends. Rather than start a whole new series on the channel, we keep things as they are, but I use the additional free time to hang out with my friends more often and record things like Gary's Mod and Lethal Company and Borderlands and Grounded and other series that I've played on the channel in the past but haven't had the time recently to continue doing. So that's the 2,000 votes that all members will be able to vote in. And not just members, if you're a supporter to any degree, meaning you don't need to be a monthly subscriber, you can hop on, donate $1, and then partake in that vote. You don't even need to sign on to be a monthly supporter. But only monthly supporters are allowed to request content. And that's the unique key there, the difference that it makes, is if you are a supporter, you are allowed to request things that appear on the votes, while if you are just not a monthly supporter and just throwing me money temporarily, you can just throw money at me and partake in the votes every month. Additionally, supporters get a social media shout-out, usually at the start of every single stream and in every single weekly news update video I do. And hang on, is my music playlist about to fuck up? Because YouTube always tends to fuck it up when it gets to the end. Oh no, we still have one more song in it, never mind. Lately it doesn't loop the playlists properly and I have to manually loop them. But yeah, now let's move on to 1.5 supporter tier. So this is something I made fairly recently, has a mid-tier between the basic supporter and the double-tier supporter, so we will double back to that in a moment and talk about the double-tier supporters first. So double-tier supporters, who get into that position by donating in the double digits, $10 and up, they receive some big benefits over the base supporters. One, you receive double the votes of a basic supporter, and the way that I do that let's go back over here. You may have noticed that with all the votes, there are 2 copies of all of the votes. That's because this one is the double tier supporter vote. So if you're a double tier supporter, you get to vote twice, and you are able to have more weight in deciding things because of that. Additionally, double tier supporters get a 10 by 10 sprite has a thank you next to their name. You can see it right there next to Distratos. He has a 10 by 10 sprite next to his sprite, or next to his name. It's of a GameCube era video game character they asked me to do, and, you know, I captured their face as good as I could within the sprite margins I had. And, you know, and you're allowed to, if you can ask me to send that to you, and I will, and you can do whatever you want with that sprite once it's made. It's you know, a little gift, a little thank you gift. You also gain access to unique Heart of Action content, something that I have been posting sparsely, but as we discussed, if I'm able to have more free time, I'll do it more, and then you'll be able to get access to that stuff. The requests for games and the ability to vote in them, and, oh, I forgot to mention it, all of these supporters get a credit in my first game when I release it, Marble Island Roll, or if I release something else first, you'll get mentioned in the credits. Yeah. Yeah, with that, now let's talk about the difference of 1.5. So 1.5, in between what is base supporter and double supporter, they will get a 5x5 sprite, so a sprite half the size of the double supporter's sprite, and they will additionally get the Heart of Action content that base supporters don't get. So I introduced this as like an extra tier of like, hey, you'll get the extra sprite artwork and you'll get the unique Heart of Action content, you just won't get twice the number of votes. So basically, by going from $1 a month to $5, an extra $4, you get a piece of free sprite artwork and access to all of my Heart of Action content I post here. And if you go then donate an additional $5, you get to buy a second vote on every single vote I hold, you know? Additionally, I think I should go over is every single one of these people and base level supporters get access to things like this post right here, weekly schedule updates. Oh wait, that's not the right thing. What did I not? Oh, I haven't made the schedule weekly. Oh, that's right, because I'm making the weekly schedule after this. You get access to a few things. One is this, which is, this is just a breakdown of the aftermath of the last stream I did. You know, I give you an idea of what videos I still need to record, of what my planned recording schedule is gonna look like in the future, and I even give you a collection of images of video thumbnails, and the next week's schedule, and several weeks' schedules after that. The grayed out things is to represent videos I still need to record. Yes, I realize I'm giving people who watch this YouTube video when it goes up a little bit of early access stuff, but as time goes on, this information isn't going to be early. Like, you know, you're getting a little bit of free Ko-fi stuff if you bother to watch this video. The other thing that goes, I'd have to scroll down really far to find this, but weekly news updates. I make them every single week for the YouTube channel, and on the Ko-fi end, you get a more detailed news update with additional information that I didn't mention, and things like breakdown of what things are currently winning in the Ko-fi votes, and breakdowns of what things are currently winning in the Discord vote, and things like that. Yeah. So that anybody who donates any money gets to see those things. But now let's move on to actually, we'll move on to those things down there later, because they're a little silly. Gallery is just a thing that they automatically generate from the images in my posts. We talked about a lot of those already. There's not a lot of additional things. Commissions, I do sprite art. You can commission me for sprite art. I have it set to only one slot currently because I'd like to have a very direct conversation with the person who's commissioning me. You know, if you want to see if you want sprite art that looks anything like all of this artwork that I have here, if you like my art style, if you want to have sprites, commission me. You could also just donate and have your supporter image, you know, be what it is, and you're allowed to, every supporter is allowed to request a change of their supporter image every single month. So like, Distratos, they could at any time be like, hey, can you change the image that represents me, and I will do it. Or, you know, and every single month you get an update to it. So that's another way you can get sprite art from me. But if you want to be more direct and have an open line of communication detailing what you would want from sprite artwork, you know, you can commission me. But with that out of the way, now let's talk about what I call the silly tiers. So these are the tiers that I really don't expect people to go into and donate to me at this level, but they're here if you want to, kind of. Like, I figured why not, because, like, one of my favorite YouTubers, Overanalyzing Avatar, did a don't tier, and people actually donated to it, and I was just like, holy shit, people are willing to throw money, a lot of money at someone. And you know what? I could use a lot of money thrown at me, so it's there if you want to do it. So the first, which I call the most reasonable of the unreasonable tiers, is the triple supporter tier, $30 a month. You get triple the votes on everything, so you get an additional vote compared to everybody else. You get a 20 by 20 sprite, so twice the size of the other sprite. You get to design your own character to have appear in an episode of Shadow Space. Shadow Space is my running D&D type of podcast, and Heart of Action podcast, I should say. That is currently a tri-monthly series, where it's like a pulp sci-fi series. Go check it out, it's fun. My friends are all playing delightfully fucked up characters, and you will be allowed to design a character who will appear in a sort of one-off bit in the setting. You know, design a barkeep who the players walk into the bar of, and, you know, like, yeah, we can work out the details. You'll give me some bullet points of what their personality is like, and, you know, you'll get a character in Shadow Space inspired by you. So, you know, that's a fun little thing. You'll get, and other than that, you get all the previous things everybody else does, and this isn't written down because I'm not promising this, but I'm currently in my head ballparking Marble Island Roll, the game I'm making, at the $30 margin, and I'm considering making it so that supporters in the month of its release of that tier will just get a free copy of the game. But that's a big if scenario. I'm not promising that, because that's gonna be a months down the road thing, like way down the road. I don't even know what the process of getting a game put on Steam is. It's like that. It'll be a whole process to work that out. But yeah. Now let's move on to the first of the I really don't expect anyone to do this tier, Solid Gold. So, what are the changes without having to read through everything? Well, 1, you get a 4th vote on every single poll, so you have even more sway over what content's on the channel. You get a 40 by 40 sprite. You get access to gold exclusive votes. So let me explain what that means. There aren't any gold exclusive votes yet because I don't have gold tier supporters, but the moment I get a gold tier supporter, I'm going to start making gold exclusive votes. And what that is I will immediately start an additional playthrough on the channel picked by the gold tier supporters. You will get to request a game that will appear both on the regular Ko-fi supporter vote and on the gold tier supporter vote, and you will get to do that playthrough. And I will do that playthrough, and you will get to vote on it. And I'm gonna throw this out right now: the first person to become a gold tier supporter, because you will have 0 competition, I won't even bother holding a vote. You will just get to request a game, and I will play it. So long as it's reasonable and something I can get a hold of. Like, I won't play a porn game if you're a gold tier supporter. I won't play a game that's gonna get my channel demonetized. I won't play School Shooter Simulator 2018 or whatever. You know, I will have limits. I will hold the ability to veto a game if you're a gold tier supporter. But within reason, I will play whatever you ask me to play, and it'll be an additional series. And if we get more gold tier supporters, well, then I'll have to hold the votes, and it'll become a competition between all of you. Additionally, gold tier supporters will be offered the occasional chance to play a game with me. You will be invited to Lethal Company games and Gary's Mod games, and so long as you behave yourself and aren't screaming racial slurs on recording, you can play games with me on stream. Currently, Lethal Company and Gary's Mod are the only ones I'm comfortable with promising, because they're the games I know I'll be able to set up with viewers and do well and have fun with. But, like, if it goes well and this is the thing that works out, maybe I'll create Minecraft servers for these supporters to join in on, or other game servers, you know? It's a thing that might happen. It's a thing worth considering. And other than that, you get all of the same benefits of the previous people. You know, mention on my game, social media shoutouts, voting on everything else, you know, HOA content, characters in Shadow Space, etc., etc., etc. And then there's the don't tier, the joke tier, the haha funny tier. Nobody's gonna do this. At this point, you are practically paying my rent. I don't expect anyone to do it at all. But if you do this, I will play any game. I will find a way to make it work. If you ask me to play a fucking porn game, I will play the porn game, won't stream it on Twitch, and I will go through the process of editing it to get it on YouTube. I will play whatever game, you know, I'll play School Shooter Simulator 2016 if you're giving me $1,000 to play it. I will play whatever you ask me to. No questions asked. And of course, you'll get to just pick the game. Now, I'm gonna say, in the off chance I get multiple don't tier supporters, I will probably create a don't tier vote. But actually, I probably won't. I don't know. I'll play that by ear. But like, if I get, say, 2 don't tier supporters, I'll just do 2 new playthroughs exclusively for those people who are giving me $1,000 a month as a thank you to them. Simple as that. Cause like, if you're giving me that much money, I'll suck your dick. You also get 5 votes on all polls. You get to partake in the gold tier votes, and you will actually get a second vote on all of the gold tier votes. I don't have that written down here, but you'll get twice the votes on the gold tier votes. You'll get an 80x80 sprite, and other than that, it's all the same benefits of everybody else. And I'm gonna throw this out right now. If you are a solid gold tier supporter or a don't tier supporter when my first game comes out, you will get a Steam key or a whatever, itch.io key or whatever. You will get a download link if I'm able to find a way to do it. I think I'm gonna leave that big asterisk of, I will need to figure out how the fuck you do that. So I don't actually want to make it a solid promise, because if I say release on itch.io, I don't know how itch.io handles giving out gift codes of a game. But, well, the triple tier supporters, maybe, I'll have to think about it when it gets closer. Gold and don't are, yeah, if I can figure it out, you'll get the game for free. Because, like, if you're giving me this much money, you deserve a free video game as a thank you. But yeah, I really don't expect people to do those tiers. Yeah, with that, let's talk a little bit more about just the Ko-fi in general. And with that, we're done looking at the actual Ko-fi page. We're just gonna do this, and we're gonna leave that sitting in the corner the whole time. And we're also gonna, and that's it. We're just gonna leave that in the corner. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about long-term channel goals and all of that. So, like, obviously, the reason I have a Ko-fi is that I have somewhere deep in my heart the hope that I will hit that $2,000 goal, and I will be able to make a living on this. Because, boy oh boy, would that relieve so much stress in my life and help me live so much more comfortably. But I'm not banking on this in any way. It's just a pipe dream that one day it'll happen. But let's say that pipe dream happens. There are a lot of things I've put thought into of what I'd want to do with the channel. The first, of course, is, you know, the additional playthrough as a thank you for hitting that 2,000 goal. But I have a lot of other things of, like, things that I will promise I'm going to try to do if I hit the goal. And, like, one is, I want to have good edited videos. I want to have edited content. I would love to eventually hire and pay an editor. I actually have some people volunteering time to edit videos, but because they're volunteering, they can't really do much with it, so it takes a long fucking time for any of that to see the light of day. And I would love to be able to pay them to do that full time. So that's like one thing I'd want to throw the money at, is paying people to be editors to create better content for all of you. I would also love to eventually get a VR headset. The computer I have right now, when I bought it, and I got the money aside for it, my gaming PC and my streaming PC, it is VR ready. It is built to be able to play VR games. I just don't have a VR headset because they're expensive. And I would love to create VR content for all of you. And if I'm ever able to get to the point where I have enough money to get a VR headset, I will create a at least weekly, maybe daily series where I play VR games for all of you. You know? I know I'm promising a lot here, and maybe like, it is a lot to promise, but once I'm able to do this full time, I know I will be able to meet these promises. Because, like, if I don't have to worry about working a day job and earning money to pay rent, like, this will become my job. And I will spend just as much time streaming as I would be spending doing a day job, and then more, because I do genuinely enjoy just doing this. And, like, I might even be, like, I would love to offer an even higher level of transparency in how my content is going on with the Ko-fi supporters. I'm already trying that with things like the post-stream posts where I give you all a bunch of info, but, like, I don't know, I will look into more ways to make the Ko-fi beneficial as time goes, and the more people donate, the easier it will be for me to give more benefits to everybody. Because, like, I want to be giving you guys weekly Hard of Action content. Like, that's why I made that a tiers, because that was a goal in my mind at one point. But the issue is I just don't have the time to make that stuff. There's too much difficulty in my life and things going on for me to really be able to realistically sit down every single week and create another enemy or another gun or another dungeon level or another anything for my system. But I want to do that. I want to make more content for all of you of whatever you want to see. I want to do more Two Brothers. I want to do more Gary's Mod and Grounded and Lethal Company. I want to do VR games. I want to create more video games than the one I'm making. I want to spend more time making video games. I want to do more art. I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to create. And I just don't have the time. Like, I am spending as much time as I can creating videos right now. I am working hard at it, and like what you are seeing is me at the max of what I can put out for content currently. Like, I want to have more playthroughs than I have right now. I want to be creating more artistic endeavors than I am right now. Like, one day, one of the pipe dream things is I want to do miniatures. I want to make dioramas. Because I used to do that in art school, or in high school in art class. I loved diorama creating, and I want to do that more. And eventually, if I can get enough money, I can invest in getting a camera, and I can invest in creating a art station setup where I have a desk where I can aim cameras and have lights on it and do time lapses of me making beautiful little dioramas of video game locations at Micro Machine scale. That's a thing I really, really want to do. I just don't have the resources or time to do it. And, like, there's just so much, there's so much I want to do. So many ideas I have in my head that I just can't even do. I wouldn't mind trying to do cooking videos one day. Me and my brother have talked about how fun it would be to do a series similar to the 10-minute Power Hour or Good Mythical Morning, where we just sit down and do dumb shit. Like one idea I've had in my head, I want to do a series called We Are Number One, where we go to all the popular fast food restaurants and order their number one and rank them. And then that can easily spin off into a sequel where we do the number two item, whatever they have listed as their item number two and their item number three, etc., etc. It'd be a fun, dumb thing to do. There's so much I want to do, and I want to create. That's all I've ever wanted to do, is to create and be creative, And by donating to my Ko-fi, that's what you facilitate. Is me being creative and dumb, being a goofball for all of you. Like, that's what the support means. Treat it like, you know, in olden times when a wealthy noble would adopt an artist to just live in their house and create weird shit. I'll be that for you. Yeah, so this wasn't scripted at all. That was all just sort of me spewing, and I hope it gave you all at least somewhat of an idea of what the benefits of the Ko-fi would be, and it made all of you somewhat interested in it. I hope to see all of you in my videos and my streams and wherever it is I post content, and I hope to see all of you on the Ko-fi. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta for now. Thank you for your support.